Funding for this program is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
Hello, I'm Danielle Teal with RTown podcast, a KSMQ Public Television show. We talk about happenings, organizations, events, everything you think of across Rochester, and we're bringing it to you today. I have two amazing guests, Holly Masek from Rochester Downtown Alliance and Dina Sheasha from Curve Marketing. And they are one of the masterminds, right, Dina, behind the Together Downtown campaign. Hello, you two.
Hi.
Hello, happy to be here.
I'm so excited to have you both on the show. You are both quite active across Rochester, but especially right now with downtown. So first, Holly, and then you can go next, Dina. Please share what your role is with RDA, and then Dina, of course, with Curve, and a little bit about yourself and how you ended up in Rochester.
Sure. My name is Holly Masek. I am originally from New Hampshire and did a lot of schooling and career in Boston. I'm the executive director of the Rochester Downtown Alliance. I came here because it was a little bit of serendipity. I was trying to move myself to Minneapolis. I was doing a lot of informational interviews and networking in my field. And there was also a recruiting firm looking for this position at the same time, talking to the same people I was talking to. And so they reached out and said, we know you're looking around Minneapolis, but what do you think about Rochester? So I came out here to interview. I saw there's so much happening. Everyone spoke so highly of this organization and the work that they do. And it seemed like the right fit at the right time. So here I am.
And here you are. You're a great asset to the community. Thank you, Holly. What about you, Dina?
So, hi, my name is Dina Sheasha. I am the owner of Curve Marketing Agency, and Curve is an agency that provides tailored solutions in marketing, advertising, and brand building. So basically what we do is we help businesses with their marketing goals, whether to increase their sales or to get more social media presence or with a campaign to promote them. A little bit about me, I'm originally from Egypt, came all the way from Egypt to Iowa to finish my University of Iowa, and traveled quite a bit, lived in Iowa for like 10 years, then North Carolina, then ended up here in Rochester and decided that to quit my job in marketing, in healthcare marketing, and to start my own business because I was so passionate about helping businesses with their marketing and really applying the experience that I've acquired throughout my years of experience in healthcare, and really getting to more industries and it's kind of being a part of their journeys, the businesses' journeys. And I was so excited when I saw that about the bid from RDA for promoting downtown, because my business, I've been seeing the effect of the pandemic to businesses because I was working with them like stores, restaurants, and really seeing that roller coaster rides of emotions with my clients. And I felt like I became more of a business coach during this time, kind of like adjusting our marketing strategies to help them survive. I had people call me like, Dina, we're gonna close, like what's gonna happen? Like and I encouraged them to get going, to stay, and this is kind of a temporary time that we will all go through this. So it became more of a like becoming a coach while I'm working with my agency and working with the marketing. And really seeing that bid, I always felt like, oh gosh, I want to help businesses collectively with a cause that helps, with their business and like getting more clients and really getting back to the normal that we all want to see. And when I saw it, and I was so excited. I was like, you know what? I need to submit it. I need to like help with that cause that I'm very, very passionate about. And I'm so glad that Rochester Downtown Allies picked us for this campaign.
That's awesome. Let's talk about downtown. It's had its fair challenges of the constructions, the pandemic restrictions, the impact of that. What is the current environment like downtown currently?
I think the energy is really picking up downtown. I mean, we are deep into event planning, activity planning, and we've seen the businesses around us pick up quite a lot. It's very hard to get a reservation downtown, you may have noticed. So it's been, I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat it. Over the last year, we lost businesses. It was really hard to watch. We saw a number of people shut their doors through the challenges. We also saw amazing creativity. We saw people do outdoor patio extensions. We saw them open food trucks, we saw new restaurants open. I mean, that's a crazy gamble. We saw Threshold Arts opened its brick and mortar storefront right next to us. Now we have Tree Dome Art next to us. White Space has a storefront. So things are picking up. We lost people along the way. What I feel right now is a lot of hope and energy and excitement in the air. And I just really want to see what's next.
Let's talk about that excitement, because the hashtag Together Downtown has been pretty prevalent on social media. Full disclosure, I was involved in the campaign, so everybody knows
Oh yeah, you were. I totally forgot.
my likeness and my daughter was in the campaign. So full disclosure, conflict of interest, probably not, but I wanted to be supportive of the downtown effort as well. Dina, can you talk about the Together Downtown campaign and what the goals are? And then we're going to kind of dig into, has it made an impact?
Okay, so Together Downtown is a campaign to promote downtown and businesses downtown, restaurants, shops, really to attract traffic to downtown and people to spend on businesses downtown, and really showing the events and everything, the experience in downtown. Get your friends and family and experience downtown. It's more not really focused on one business, it's focused on collectively the experience in downtown. And there is this and kind of like changing the mindset, because during the time of construction and parking and all those, like, you know, people like complaining about those things, we want to send out the positive message, a positive message that shows the uniqueness of downtown and the experiences in downtown, and focus and giving people ideas. The main goal was like people that don't go to downtown, they only go for Mayo Clinic appointments and then get out, to be like, I didn't know this exists. I didn't know that they have that restaurant or that event, or I want to go. I want to see it and go. So this is kind of like the main goal for people to attract people. We had like different people from different target audiences, and how do we really reach all of them? People from surrounding areas and outside of Rochester and in Rochester, and also that live in downtown. So really a positive message, bright, colorful, showing kids experiencing downtown, showing different people from different backgrounds, from different demographics, showing community leaders and people that from community that have influence in the community, experiencing downtown, to give ideas to other people as well. You can do that. There are options downtown, there are events. So really changing kind of like a mindset, the mindset, and that like showing the experience in downtown and togetherness after that lockdown, after people, you know, like not seeing each other for a while. We're now finally all together experiencing this really positive and happy and colorful downtown that we have.
Dina, there were some kind of themes that were shared weekly and that sort of thing. Can you cover that? Give a high level overview of that, and then I have a question for Holly after this.
You mean the theme for campaign?
Correct. So for example, some of the focus was coffee, which I got to drink coffee.
Yeah.
Some of the focus was, music, that sort of thing.
Yes. So it's part of the experience. So under that experience, we're showing, okay, shopping. So showing visuals and videography and messages that show those categories. We have shopping, we have restaurant selections, a big restaurant selection. We have art. So really also showing off the artistic vibe of the city that's becoming increasingly more and more. You see it in downtown more. So showing those categories in a really fun visuals that we play with, and messaging, strong messaging, and interviewing also like our participants, and really showing off their unique experience, their personal experience of downtown.
For more information about this story and other RTown features, connect with us on Facebook, Twitter at KSMQ #RTown, or ksmq.org/RTown.
Hey Rochester, this is Michael Wojak with your RTown Rundown. It has gotten hot out there, and I'm going to give you some tips for beating the heat in the city of Rochester. Typically when we have extreme heat days, if you need some air conditioning, you can typically jump on and ride an air-conditioned bus for free. That's when the heat is really extreme. In addition to that, we have 2 public pools that were made free to use this year, but that created a whole host of other issues that the city currently has to work through, but expect our pools to be online here shortly. In addition to that, we have a splash pad that will be built this year near Lincolnshire Park. And we have a beach at Foster Erin that is currently open. The Cascade Lake Beach is open on the weekends right now. Hopefully relatively quickly that'll be open at all times. And there is actually an existing splash pad in Northwest Rochester. Thursdays on First, a staple of the Rochester summer, is back. And starting in July, there is a diverse set of local and regional acts that will be performing. It's a fantastic time to go out, enjoy some local food, some companionship with other locals here, and enjoy some local arts. In addition to that, Movies in the Park is starting out at Central Park here relatively quickly. And the first one on June 12th is going to be Black Panther. So if you are excited about the MCU like my family is, you can go out there and watch Black Panther for free with the family. Threshold Arts, this is the last weekend to see the exhibit put up by Sophia Chai, and that ran from May 27th to June 13th. It is an exploration of space and dimension. And finally, if you're looking to catch some theater, 2 options for you this weekend at Rochester Civic Theater is Love Letters and also Charlotte's Web for the kids. So a lot going on in Rochester. That's just a little bit of it. I hope you get out there and enjoy this weekend.
So Holly, has the campaign been impactful? Are you seeing people, coming downtown? And well, you obviously have, because you mentioned that the reservations were kind of getting hard to get. So can you share a little bit more about that?
Sure. I mean, it's always hard with marketing to know like what exactly led to what, with like what is naturally occurring and what kind of payoff are we getting from this campaign. But what I am hearing a lot of, which I love, is our downtown businesses really, really like this campaign. They think it's so cool to hear people personally telling stories about what they enjoy about downtown. Something I've responded to, and I think other people have as well, is the color in the ads. People have this really, I think, incorrect perception that downtown is kind of gray and sterile and medical and clinical. And Dina's team did such a great job of like bringing in the color and the energy. And you look at it and you think that's a place I really want to be. So I think it surprised me a little bit with like, oh, that's our downtown. It's also encouraged other people to tell us their stories about why they love downtown. For example, the winner of the Together Downtown campaign gift basket stopped by our office to pick it up. And she sat right down and she told us this total story of how she's worked for Mayo for 19 years. She used to work downtown. They were going to move her to another site off campus. And she said, absolutely not. No, I love downtown, and switched teams so that she could continue to come back to downtown. That happened within the last year, and then proceeded to name 10 different businesses and name the proprietors by name of people that she considers her friends downtown who run businesses down here. So to me, a lot of the impact has been learning how much this community means to people and that they really think of it as a neighborhood. They really think of downtown as sort of a network of friendships for them that help make their work experience or if they live here, their neighborhood experience really special.
We know that there's been a shift in businesses with some businesses leaving. There's been businesses coming in. You know, the pandemic has moved, you know, employees to working from home now. And there's been changes as far as staffing and that sort of thing with service industry and that's in that aspect. What are some things that you can think of other than being intentional? Now, people have to be a little bit more intentional about coming downtown. What are some things that you would like to highlight that it's actually easier to get downtown? It's more accessible.
I would say downtown is easier on, I'm an urban planner, so I would like to highlight walkability, but once you get yourself down here, whether you're living down here, you are working down here, you're coming down here for a meal or shopping on a Saturday, whatever it is, you come to one of our events and then you want to go do something else. There's this concept of trip chaining where you link a bunch of errands or activities together. It's so much easier downtown. You park once, you can do all of your things. I still want to overlay the couple blocks of downtown over the parking lot of a giant mall or something and show you how much easier it is to get all these things done. And it's all very interesting along the way. And there's a very high opportunity to run into somebody that you know or need to see. We always joke about getting work done outside of the office because you're in a coffee shop. You bump into someone that you needed to talk to. You don't have to email them. So it's kind of what I'm with that. Yeah.
One of my favorite activities is going to the library because it's so accessible. Going to the library, going to grab coffee. And then if I want to go check out the shops, I go check out the shops, you know, at the Galleria. With that in mind, what are some current efforts and events coming up that you can call out that could be of interest to our, to our audience that's listening or watching this?
Oh, definitely. Well, one is more behind the scenes research project, which I wish I could have had for Dina, but I think she'll find very interesting as we go. We are digging deep into the residential community downtown. We've actually just found out that we have added 900 housing units in the last 10 years. We've pretty much doubled the amount of housing units downtown. So we're really trying to figure out who are these people? How do they feel attached to downtown? What else do they want to see? And so with that information, we're going to try to serve them better, but also make them feel like it's part of a neighborhood. And so for those of you who live in or near downtown, please work with us on this. It's really important information. It's going to help us serve you better. And then as far as activities that we have going on downtown right now, we kicked off Fresh Air Fitness at the beginning of May, where we have bar on Tuesdays and yoga on Thursdays in Central Park. That is free to the public. We've also just kicked off sidewalk sessions, which are generally speaking at lunchtime on Wednesdays and Fridays. And then around 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock on Sundays, we have the schedule on our website. That's local musicians, free concerts in Peace Plaza. Come out and enjoy them. Thursdays downtown, of course, kicks off on July 8th and we'll be running for 10 Thursdays.
Let's talk about the emphasis. What date?
July 8th. Wait, before we get into that, because I know people get excited.
I'm so excited about that.
Okay. movies in the park.
Okay, we're excited about that
Saturday. Okay, all right. So that's Black Panther is starting this Saturday, and that'll be every other week in the summer. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Central Park, it is so beautiful. There's a fountain, there are flowers. We're also adding a lot more furniture, flowers, trying to improve the public spaces of downtown. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised as you're walking around down there. Like, this feels a little different. Like, maybe someone is like wanting us to be down here and enjoying these spaces. We want everyone to think of downtown as a leisure place, not just a workplace. But now we may talk about Thursdays. Carry on.
Okay, now we get TOF. TOF.
TOF.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
No, Thursday's on first. Yeah, TOF. Okay.
Yep, you got it. Well, Thursday is technically Thursdays downtown, but yes, it's on First Avenue. So what are your questions?
Oh yeah, it used to be Thursdays on First, right?
Thursdays on first, Thursdays on first and third. Now it's Thursdays downtown. Just say
Got it.
Thursdays.
Okay, so it's been rebranded and so it's done. So is it going to look the same? Are there going to be any restrictions? And how's the construction downtown? Has that lifted up a bit?
It'll be a similar layout. We'll have the RST stage in Peace Plaza and the Ultra Credit Union stage on First Avenue over by Half Barrel. And then there will be an activation area on 3rd Street for different partners of ours. And then we'll have vendors up First Avenue and a little bit into Peace Plaza. There will be construction occurring. We're actually in some interesting conversations right now with that team to see, can the construction become part of the show? Like, can we be doing hard hat tours? Can we show you some cool things about construction, some of the public art that's coming in, so that it feels a little bit more experiential and not like something we have to work around. So that'll be a good way to deal with it. We'll have lunchtime music, we'll have evening music. We've got over 100 different vendors this year. Some of our returning vendors are going to try some creative things that I can't explain yet. And yeah, I think it's going to be really good.
So that starts July 8th.
July 8th. We did move it back a month this year because we weren't sure what would be allowed with COVID. Most of the estimates we got said July should be pretty good. And of course, there was the federal goal of July 4th will be our big kind of reopening day. So we tried to track with that. And then like everyone else, we were caught by surprise by the announcement about a month ago that things could reopen. Everyone was just like, okay.
Oh, okay. We're open, but that makes sense. I mean, and it gives you plenty of time to prepare for it. Is there the same amount of vendors, and is it going to be as robust with the, the layout, or has that kind of trimmed down a bit because of?
It has trimmed down a bit. Some of what we're hearing is that people are a bit short-staffed. And so as they're reopening their businesses and rehiring, it's not always feasible for them to staff a tent as well as their restaurant or business. Also, some people just aren't quite ready to like take the risk of investing in more product. Again, as they're reopening, people have had a pretty bumpy year. It's still going to be pretty robust. We're also very careful this year to pick really quality vendors, make sure that we had really great local artisans and that we felt really good about the products that were going to be represented there. I think if as the year goes on, people reach out to us, or as the season goes on, people reach out to us and feel like, they couldn't apply right away, but maybe they're ready to now. If we feel like we have capacity, I think we're going to try to consider those offers. Usually we shut the application deadline pretty hard, but I just want this to be an event that is going to be really successful for the community. So we're doing the best we can with a lot of variables and moving targets, as is everyone else. And we are hoping to put on a festival that Rochester is really excited about and proud of.
Well, Holly, I can't wait to check it out again. It's going to feel really weird to be in such a crowd like that again, but I think everybody is ready for it.
Sure. And it does help, we're at an advantage because it's outdoors.
Right.
I would recommend to people, if they're not sure that they're ready for a crowd yet, come to the lunchtime shows. Maybe come, if you just want to see the artisans, come in between the musical acts. It'll be quieter. It'll be a little bit more spaced out. We're also trying to be a little bit more considerate of families this year. We will have a mother's tent kind of by Peace Plaza. So if you need a little bit of quiet time, nursing tent, that'll be available to you. And so we do want to remind people that you can kind of pick your experience. So lunch is a little busy for the mealtime, of course, and there's music, but between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock is probably the best if you're looking for a quieter experience.
That's a great way to kind of ease into it, to have these options. What time will it end? Is it still like 8 o'clock?
8:30 usually we're
8:30.
done.
Okay. When it sunsets, huh?
When the sun sets, but then of course you can patronize any of our fine downtown restaurants after that. You're very welcome to. And we are really excited because I believe Mayo Clinic is starting to open up their drop-in centers, and for workers who are doing hybrid models. I think by then they'll have the opportunity to be choosing to be on campus on certain days of the week. So we really, really hope we see a lot of them downtown.
Cool. Okay, we're going to talk about the downtown restaurants in just a jiffy, and organizations, but I did want to ask about the Chateau. What's the update on that, and who is going to be residing in that, and kind of what is the plan? Has that been finalized?
That has not been finalized as far as I know. The
Okay.
best contact. Yeah, I think you better speak to the city about that and
Okay.
just see where things are.
Okay, I was just curious if you knew what was going on. Okay, so about the downtown businesses, the restrictions have lifted a bit. What is the feedback? And I heard they were excited about the Together Downtown. What is the feedback now that things are easing opening? Opening. I've been sick this week with a cold,
Oh.
everybody, so bear with me.
Hang in there.
I know, thank you. But opening and what has their feedback been?
As far from
As-
the restaurants?
Yeah, from the restaurants and seeing that the restrictions lift and that sort of thing, because I know you have seen it from the very beginning to now. What is the overall morale and feedback been?
Well, I mean, there have been so many cycles of challenges for people. There have been just restrictions to adapt to really quickly, teaching their staff what to do, spacing out the tables, stretching out into the parking lanes and trying to do outdoor dining, trying to see if we could do that in the winter time, shutting down again. I mean, you've seen it all cycle through. A lot of them, I mean, it's been wonderful to see staff back. The biggest challenge we're hearing now is that actually they cannot hire enough people. They cannot get enough people to work. So as the customers are returning, they don't necessarily have the employees that they need. I've been glad to see some familiar faces back behind the bar, back serving tables, but that's a big crunch downtown right now is employees. So everyone at this point seems back up to pretty standard operations. They seem to be busy. The patios are full. The reservations are very tight and hard to get, but employees, I'm hearing, are still a struggle.
And we just had workforce development on Jenny Rittman. So she kind of, we dug into that a bit. So if anybody wants to listen to that from last week, please do so, because it actually kind of dives into exactly what you're sharing, Holly. So, and there might be opportunity for people to get connected with workforce development if they're looking for different ways to get engaged downtown as well. Which brings me to my final question that I think you both can respond to. What are some ways that the community can help support downtown?
Come downtown. I mean, that's all you have to do. It's fun, not a chore by any stretch of the imagination. Go out to dinner, come to one of our events, go shopping in the Galleria, come check out some of our cool creative neighbors, get a coffee, meet your friends. I mean, what's not to like? What about you, Dina?
I would say, yes, I agree with that. It's word of mouth. We've already seen an impact from the campaign Together Downtown, and we are expecting the effect of it to actually work throughout the summer. And I would say, like, we've seen people like taking pictures and taking pictures with even business owners in stores and shops, like shopping, eating, drinking, and putting the hashtag Together Downtown and share your experience. People, when they see it, they're like, oh, I want to do that too, like share it, bring your family, bring your friends. That's the biggest thing, is word of mouth. Just tell everybody about it, and share it with us. Share it with and tag Downtown Rochester. So I would say that I would agree with Holly about that. Share the experience.
And not just. Well, can I just say, and not just.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's this is why we work with a marketing firm, because she obviously knows how to do this, but we have loved the hashtag Together Downtown since we have seen it, and it dovetails so nicely over the winter time when we're also isolated, and Threshold did the project with the giant Together sign in the Rosie Bell lot over on the corner of Broadway and 4th Street. And just something about that has resonated with us in so many ways of, gosh, we've been so far apart. It's been so challenging. And it's just, we want to be together with our businesses, with each other, with our friends. Like, let's all, with the rest of Rochester, let's all get together and support downtown and support each other.
I love it. It's a great message. And I want to remind everybody that, there are many special spots in Rochester. Downtown is one of those special spots. There's a lot to do. And like you said, Holly, the walkabout and being able to, go from one thing to another, one-stop shop is phenomenal. It's such a great thing to do. And the other thing I want to mention is that sometimes we hear often that there's nothing to do in Rochester. Well, there are lots of things to do. And so we just got to get connected with the right resources and information that provides that so we can do so. I do know, Holly, that downtown has an e-newsletter that goes out. I get it in my email box. So if people want to sign up, they can certainly do that through the RDA website, correct?
That is correct. And we have an events calendar on our website as well. So if you are running an event downtown and you want us to promote it, that calendar goes out in the e-newsletter that has about 8,000 subscribers. So you just submit that through our website. We'll take a look at it, make sure it's good to go, and then we'll spread the word for you. We want to help you. We want to help you promote yourselves. So come on down.
I cannot thank both of you enough for being on the show. Thank you so much for sharing. Like I said, the show is about Rochester. And so I'm grateful that you both took the time today to connect.
Thank you so much, Danielle and Holly.
Of course. All right. Well,
Thank you.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Holly. Thanks for tuning into RTown the podcast. I'm Danielle Teal, your host for the RTown podcast at KSMQ Public Television show. You can catch up with us on Facebook or Twitter at KSMQ #RTown.